Are you a real estate professional who's been in the industry for the past 10, 20, maybe even 30 years? And have you seen your own market share within the suburbs that you've been servicing for the past few decades being eroded by new agents coming into the market, maybe with a better tech tool set, maybe with a little bit more tech savviness when it comes to social media, video marketing, etc.? And are these people that are taking a portion of your market shares starting to make you wonder what it is that they're doing right that maybe you are not doing correctly anymore? Sure, referrals are great. I mean, we all need referrals. But at the same time, in order to achieve referral business, we still need to continually fill the top of our funnel with cold leads. And there are other methods besides cold calling that we can use and that are technically free, and they maybe just take up some of our time. So today's little video really is about how to leverage social media in your business so that you can get the attention and ultimately the business of people who have been living in your suburb for the past 10, 20, 30, even up to 40 years. These veteran homeowners are the people that are more likely to like and trust you to be able to sell their property. Why? Well, because you've been a mainstay in the suburb for so long. So if you just look at my screen here, you should already be in some community groups. This community group in particular has over 46,000 members. It's a highly active community group. It's based in the east of Pretoria. In fact, it's called Ek's van die Ooste, which means I'm from the east. And it's got people in it that are probably upwards of 20 years old all the way up to 60, 70, 80 years old in some cases. It's highly engaging, and there's always new people joining the group. Because why? There are always new people joining the suburbs within the east of Pretoria. So if you're not in a community group on Facebook, then I would highly encourage you to join a few. And if you are in some, then please follow my advice today as I show you how to get the attention and ultimately the business of the older crowd within your suburb. So if you have a look at this group, you'll quickly see that there's a lot of content, a lot of people either selling stuff, asking questions, and getting through all of this noise can be extremely difficult, especially if your only approach up until today has been posting a latest listing or a number of listings within a community group. While on the surface, there's nothing wrong with that. What you really need to do is to evoke a response, even an emotional response from the people that you are trying to attract. So how do we get the attention and evoke a response from people that we're trying to attract in a community group? Well, there really is only one way, and that way is to ask an emotionally invoking question within the group. So what I've gone and done for you today is I've created 30 different emotion-evoking questions that should evoke a response within a community group in which you are currently active. Now, there's one extra step that you need in place in order for this to be effective for you. Number one, you need to be able to post regularly within these groups. And the beautiful thing about this is that you don't have to comply with the group's advertising schedule. Many groups have an advertising schedule where they will say you can only post a business-related post, maybe promoting a product or a service on Fridays or Thursdays or Tuesdays between a certain time, and the rest of the week should be there for people to engage and talk about community issues. So this is one way to get around that problem. So what I've gone and done for you today is I've gone and created 30 posts, as I mentioned. I've also created a Facebook cover image photo for you to be able to basically grab and inject your own personality, your own branding on it, but it's designed to be something that you can put on your own personal profile. And then from there, what you would need is some sort of call to action, preferably a landing page that explains a little bit more about who you are and how you can serve people, so that it makes it easy for people to click on a photo, click on a link, fill in details, and get in touch with you by understanding exactly what it is that you do. So if we just go right to the top of this group and we hit compose or write something. Now, this is where most people get stuck. They don't know what to write. What is going to create a response from people that I'm trying to attract? And if I'm trying to attract people that have been in the suburb upwards of 10 years, the kinds of posts that I want to put in there are things that are kind of evoking emotions from past times, a better time, a simpler time. Remember, a lot of the older folk do remember fondly how the suburb used to be, and maybe they're not as happy about the suburb as they once were. Well, because they had their children with them, there were lots of memories being made, times were a lot simpler 20, 30 years ago, and people try to hold on to those past memories because it brings them a measure of happiness. So what I've gone and done here is I've created 30 posts just using a free tool like ChatGPT in order for me to get some ideas around posts I can put on a daily basis or I can give to you, and you can use these post ideas on a daily basis within the groups that you are currently active. So look at the prompt I have put in here. And obviously this prompt can be changed and updated based on what you do in the suburb, how long you've been in the suburb, and the kinds of suburbs that you've been active in. So I've used the example of where I live, which is in Bottleford Ridge. So I'll just read this to you in case you can't see this too clearly. I'm an established real estate agent working in Bottleford Ridge in Pretoria. I've been in the industry for the past 20 years and have sold just about every house in the suburb in that time. Now, that's generally true for a lot of you older agents or veteran agents who have been active in a suburb for more than 20 years. You will have maybe sold the vast majority, if not all of the properties within that suburb. Now, what's happened is you've lost some market share because there's a lot of newer agents coming into the market using things like Facebook ads, being a little bit more effective in digital marketing in order to get the attention and erode some of that market share that you once had. So let me continue with the prompt. I'm looking for engaging questions I can ask in the Facebook community groups that I'm a member of where I can get engagement. Remember, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, excuse me, all of these platforms are engagement first platforms. Facebook wants people to engage because it retains people within their platform for a longer time. And if you can get someone to engage on your Facebook post, whether it's on a personal page, but in this case, specifically in a community post, it brings your post right to the top of the feed. More people have more opportunity to see the post that you are getting engagement on. And what do? They engage themselves. They read through the comments and they engage. Now, the key to doing this really effectively is not only to post and leave, which is what a lot of people tend to do. They'll post something, they'll get engagement, they'll get questions, but they don't log back into Facebook to answer those questions. So what you need to do is you need to, when you get responses and to speed up the engagement algorithm on Facebook, you need to get back into that post and you need to speak to your audience. You need to answer their questions. You need to engage with them. So we want to get engagement. So what kind of engagement and how are we going to do this? So I say I want to evoke the older members of the community memories of things that happened in the suburb, points of interest they used to love, and things our kids used to do in the streets when it was safer and simpler. Again, this is coming back to what has happened in the past. Where were the happy memories of many of the older folk that are living in these suburbs? They had kids, their kids were playing in the streets, things were simpler, things were potentially safer than they are today, and so it brings back a lot of memories for people. So I've asked, can you help me create 30 questions around these topics that I can post in the local community groups to evoke engagement? And of course, ChatGPT, being as amazing as it is, can help you do this in record time. This literally took, when I put this prompt in, it took me around about 30 seconds, if that, to get 30 posts. Now I can increase this, I can ask for more. Next month I can ask for another 30. But what I would go and do here is I would go through some of these and I would pull out the ones that I feel are the most relevant or the best in order for me to get engagement. So there are a couple of here that I really like. So what are some of the most memorable changes or developments you witnessed in Barclay Ridge over the past few decades? Now people can talk about, anything memorable. Maybe there was a park. Maybe there's been a new development in the area that has added value. Street landmarks, anything along those lines. Or can you share any interesting stories about the history of a specific house? So what you would do there is maybe take a photo of that house and say, what is the history around this house? Because every suburb has a house. Previously, we had a house in our suburb within my street, literally 2 houses away from me, that had a yacht in its front garden. And right next to it, there's a house with basically a tree house in the front garden. So these are the kinds of landmark homes in a suburb that a lot of people know, and maybe they've got memories of a time maybe when that yacht was brought in, or when that tree house was constructed, or some of the stories around this. What do they remember around these things within their suburb? What are some of the popular recreational activities or games that kids used to play in the streets? Do you have any special traditions or annual events in the neighborhood that you miss today? So maybe there were Christmas markets taking place on the corner of this and this street. Maybe there was a lemonade stand that was a mainstay. Maybe there was even a person that used to walk around the suburb that everybody fondly remembers. So again, bring back some of the memories of the things that happened in the past, so that the people who are in that suburb, the older folk who remember these things, are most likely to respond to you. So what happens when you take a post like this? So let's, for example, say I'm going to take this post here. I'm just going to copy it. So you can right click and copy, or Control C, whatever you want to use. I'm going to go back in here, and I just clicked on create a post. I'm going to paste this in here. Now, instead of having a blank white post, what I would like to do is I would like to make this a little bit more noticeable in the feed. So what I'll do here is I will click on this little button to create a screen or a filter or whatever you want to call this. And you can change these. You can have them as pure colors, or you can put something in here with your avatar. And maybe let's just choose this one. So, okay, it's a birthday one specifically, but it doesn't really matter. You can always change this up. You can maybe put the one with the glasses. Oh, he's lying on a lilo, which is pretty cool. Or, some of the darker ones. So what you would do here is you would post something like this, maybe put an emoji in it. You can ask ChatGPT to include emojis in your post, just to make it a little bit more fun, a little bit more sociable. And then what you would do is you would click on post. And as simple as that, you've created a post that has the potential to create a response within your suburb. Now, the next step to having effective social media presence is for the people who are curious enough about who you are. So if you're consistent and you're always posting stuff like this that gets responses, the next knee-jerk reaction of people that see this on an ongoing basis and potentially engage with this on an ongoing basis, they're going to click on your profile picture. So I'm going to just close this up here. And let's say, for example, this is you and this is your question. What people will do is they'll hover and they'll see where you work, where you live specifically, and they will click on this part here or on your profile picture, and they will go straight to your personal profile. Now, the next step in order for you to capture the leads that come from here is to, on your own profile, within your cover photo section. So here, instead of just having a picture of a dog or of a house or even your business card, is to create something to get people to click on this image. So I'll show you an example of what we've created here. So we do have some Canva boards that you can grab and use for you to actually create these. I'll put the link within the page that this video will be hosted on. Let's just give it a second to load up here. So this is what I would download, and I would put this on my Facebook cover image. So what you can see here is it's some branding colors. You can put your logo here, or for example, you can put your logo there. You can change the color of the button. You can change the color of these little frames, and then also obviously the background image. You can change the image to maybe a more applicable image based on, your suburb. So once you've got that, what you've got here is a button, which looks like a button. So we're asking a question, what would a buyer pay for your home today? You can write anything. Curious about the value of your home. What would a buyer, how quickly can I sell my house in, for example, suburb? Click here to get a free valuation. So what happens when they click on this image? Facebook does not allow you to put an actual button on an image on Facebook. So what you're going to do is you're going to use the cover image as your button. So if I should click on this image, what happens here is I've got the opportunity to ask a question, put a statement in this area. I can click on edit and I can create a little bit of text here. And then there is where I would put the link to my landing page. So let me just go grab a quick landing page so that I can give you an example. Okay, so this is a landing page that I created for one of my longest standing clients, Marisha van der Merwe from Luxliv Property Group. So you don't have to get as fancy as this, but you can have a landing page that is essentially connected to a CRM system or even a simple Google form that you could set up in order to get somebody to go from this link, let's assume this is that link that I just showed you, to a page like this, which could explain a bit more about who you are and who you serve. So this is just a link tree button. And what you can do here is you can put just about anything that you would like. Get daily videos, get in touch, call me, WhatsApp me. If you click here, it opens up the WhatsApp to have a conversation with the agent. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, visit me on these profiles. Again, these are all creative ways that you as an established agent can use to start regaining some of the market share that you have potentially lost in the suburb to the people who maybe are younger and a bit more tech savvy than you. And these are generally either very inexpensive methods and strategies or completely free. So the things that are free, for example, ChatGPT is free. Facebook posting in a group is free. Putting the posts into an Excel or a Google Sheet in order for you to organize and structure them best is free. The only things that are really going to cost you some money is some software. For example, this we built within Property Funnels. If somebody should click on this button and fill in this form, this data gets sent back into the CRM, and any other things that we can put in here get sent to the CRM too. So again, growing the top of your funnel with new leads all the time, so that you're not just relying on referral clients, but you're also always bringing in new people into your funnel so that you can start conversations with them and hopefully convert those conversations into listings, into business, into sales. And then again, from there, more referrals flow into your business. So if you'd like to learn more about Property Funnels and how we can maybe potentially help you, or if you would have any questions around this specific strategy, I'm more than happy to take any questions that you might have. I hope that you have a fantastic day. I hope that you have a powerful year ahead, and I hope to hear from you soon. Take care and have a great day. Cheers.